freaking awesome, man.
Alright dudes, today we're going to go through this guy, the 6505 Synergy module, through my ARM100 and compare it to an actual Peavey 6505 Plus. I'm curious to see if they are kind of the same, sound the same or not. It's going to go through my amp selector, and of course I'm going to have an SD1 and the noise gate, and both of these are going to be on at the same time, so I can just flip this and you can hear it right away. Let's have some fun.
All right, what is up everybody? Today we got two cool amps here. We got an RM100 and a 6505, the Peavey version of course. It's the 6505 Plus, so it has the double channels. You got the rhythm and the lead, resonance and presence. So not going to make this a long video. I'm just going to go through the lead channels of this. We got a Mesa 412 cab with the UK V30s with a 421 and a SM57, and I got my Kelly Kex and with a parallaxis pickup, and yeah, I think that's all you need to know, right? Okay, so we got the Synergy 6505 here. So I was always really curious to see if it feels the same as the original 6505, because the Peavey version definitely has a certain characteristic about it. So I just dialed in. I guess for what I did was I did the 666, which typically people usually like to use. Actually, no, I didn't. The mids are actually lower on this one. Because I tailored to this cab personally, I think the mids need to come down. It's a very mid-forward kind of amp. And here, I'll go ahead and show you what it's like with the 6 up. All right, so let's try that again. And then where I like it, I think it does just kind of round out the sound a little bit more. But anyways, we're going to go through these two, check them out and see if they're pretty close. Now I know the fact that we're going through an RM100, which is a totally different power amp. This has got E34Ls in it, so it's got E34Ls, but it's got the EL34 characteristic to this amp compared to this 6505, which is 606. I think they're the GCs. So we'll go through it, check it out. All right, so let's go ahead and just kind of hear what the Synergy module sounds like, right? So here's the Synergy. And now this one is set up to have basically the 666 kind of version going on here. It's on the lead channel. To me, it just sounds pretty dark compared to the actual. Let's go back to the actual one. And to the RM100. So a good bit darker, to tell you the truth. I would definitely dial this in a little bit more if I wanted it to sound like the 6505 from Peavey, there is a top end that this Peavey has that is very characteristic of the 6505 for sure. And I think this cab, you know, I know this is the 2000 era, like hardcore rig, 6505 with the Mesa 412 oversized. I get it. It's just, I don't know, there's just that top end to it that maybe it does in the mix very well, but when I'm jamming with it, it just, I don't know, it doesn't sit with me too well. I kind of like the Synergy module a little bit more because it kind of kills that top end. Not to say that's a good thing if you're trying to make it sound like this one. What we will do later is go from the effects loop of this RM100 into this, so it's just using the preamp, and then we can use the power amp to see if it does catch that little bit more of a fizzy top end. I'd be interested to see that. So again, this is the RM100. And let's bring up the treble. That sounds a little closer. It just sounds like a really cleaned up 6505, to tell you the truth. And let's try to do the thing where I like to do on the 65.5 Peavey and cut the mids some and see what that sounds like. Nah, I feel like I need the mids on this one. Just so you guys know, I do have the best version of this RM100. It's modded. It has the, what's it called, the Unio. So I can do the dual channel for the Synergy stuff, and also have Salvation Audio's, it's not the fog lifter because that's Jaded Faith. It's, I forget what it's called, but it helps with the power amp side for the resonance and presence. So I'll show you the difference between those two. So here's what it is. It's already on, but if I turn it off, see, it kind of scoops the mid some. And to tell you the truth, for this module, it doesn't sound that bad actually. And this is with it on. Kind of brings those low mids up, you know, just so it's a more of a present kind of sound. But I don't mind this one either. Let's bring up the mids on this. Okay, I like that. I think the volume needs to go up a tad. And Peavey. Oh, now they're totally different. This one's definitely a little louder, so bring this one up. Don't give me a hard time because of the decapitated riff. I probably didn't play that perfectly, but it's something like that, right? But yeah, I mean, it's hard to say because in the room it sounds like I like the Synergy version with the RM100, but the 65.5 Peavey version just sounds a little harsh. But I think it does sound actually pretty good on the mix. Let's go back to the Peavey again. Bring in those mids back to 6 again. And I'll mess with the gain too. Sometimes I like doing it at 4. For clarity, it kind of takes that top end off for me when I do it back to 4. Now let's go back over to this one. Cut the gain on that. For this one, it's either you lose volume or it really pushes the gain. At 5 now. RM100. Cut the treble. I don't know, the mids just sit totally different, and it could be attributed to the fact that this is 606 and this is EL34, but we will find that out once we go through the effects loop coming out of this guy into this. What I want to do now is I have an SD1 up here. I'm just going to turn that on and we'll compare those two and how they react. So let's start off with the original. And no, this is not the original 6505, the reissue. This is not. This is the original. I think it's the USA version, but that doesn't matter, actually. All right, so SD1 is on. And obviously when this happens, I need to turn up the lows a little bit. That's usually what I like to do. Let's do that. Now I can tell you that under the hands and the fingers, the Peavey feels way better than the Synergy. And I think with all these amps that have just modular situations and don't pair well together, they lose the feeling in the hands. And I think that's the hard part to do. And one day I'll probably put 606s or KT88s or 6550s, whatever, I don't know. That's what's so cool about this thing. You can put any kind of tube in it. And you can buy some per tube or per pair, something like that. Anyways, this is the Peavey 65.5. Awesome tone. And now the Synergy with the SD1. It's a little bright. Actually, let's cut the presence some. Compensate a little bit with the treble. Tell you what, I'll go ahead and show you the range. Here's the mids all the way down. Mids all the way up. Actually, that sounds a little more like it with the mids sitting there. Here's the original. No. Let's go to the middle. Back to this one. This one just has this sizzle to it that is signature to this 65.5. It's kind of like the Mesa's top end. It just has that way more than the Synergy module does. Like, I don't think this one has it at all, to tell you the truth. And I don't know if it's counting on the power amp side to do that kind of thing, but that's what it sounds like. So we'll see. But let's keep on jamming on this SD1 just to, get a feel for it. Turn up the gain. I mean, that feels pretty good actually. All right, back to the original. I mean, that's just a lot of fun. All right, I think you guys get the feel for these two. And did they do a good job with, and it's just hard to say because I'm using an ARM100. It's not really apples to apples when we're talking about these two different amps. Sure, the preamp, but there's still differences between the power amp and all that stuff that could make huge changes to the tone. So now I'm going to go ahead and hook this effects loop up to this guy, and I think I have to pull it back in and out just so we can get the difference of them. Let's give it a shot. Let's see. I need a light. All right, so here's the amp. Mind you, we do have the OD1 or SD1 still on. So here's the Synergy. There you go. What? Now that sounded a lot closer. Huh. Maybe they did do a good job. I'm gonna go ahead and put this to match the settings here for the preamp. Yep. Push the low up a little bit more. Okay. So this is the Synergy 65.5. Okay, so there's that one. Here's the original amp. Whoa, dude. That is a lot closer. Goes to show you that power amps do make a difference. Let's do it one more time. 65.5 Synergy. That actually sounds really awesome. And then the amp. Sounds like the module has a little more gain to it. So let's go ahead and pump that up to 6. Remember the SD1 is still on? Yeah, that's what it sounds like right there. Oh, there you go. Well, now, that was pretty interesting. I did not think that that's what I would get going into the effects return using that module. And we should expect for the makers of these to come close to their own designs, right? And I was doubting it whenever I was going through the ARM100. So that leaves room to kind of like have me think about that, you know? Maybe I need some kind of different type of tubes in this. Because I'm liking the power amp in this guy a lot more, actually. So, what do you guys think? Did you guys hear the same thing that I did? I mean, that was a big difference, and I'm very surprised by that. Anyways, that was it. That's all I wanted to go through. Hope you guys like it. Like and subscribe. We've got some more cool stuff coming on, so hit me up. DMD out.